Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. This is a video on how to graph quadratic functions with input-output tables. So we're going to do two graphs together, and then you have a chance to try a couple on your own, and then at the end you can see how you did. Alright, so our first function, we have f of x equals x squared plus 2x. And I'm going to start off by just plugging in a value for x. We'll call it, say, 2. Alright, so when x is 2, 2 squared is 4. And then 2 plus 2 is 4, and so 4 plus 4 is 8. Let's try 0. When x is 0, 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. So y is 0. Let's go with negative 1. When x is negative 1, that's going to become a 1, right? And this is going to become a negative 2. So 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. Let's try a value of negative 2 for x. This would make this a 4. And this would make this a negative 4, so that's a 0. And then finally, let's go with, say, a 1. So this would make this a 1, this would make this a 2, and 1 plus 2 gives you a 3. Okay? So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to identify the vertex, the x-intercepts, and the y-intercepts by the values that we created. So let's start off by going to 2 and 8. So 2 and 8 is going to be right here. And this graph goes up by 2's. And then 0, 0, and then negative 1, negative 1, negative 2 and 0, and then 1 and 3. Alright, so far we have a graph that looks kind of like this, and then like this. So I'm going to add one more, and let's go with x is, say, negative 3. All right, I want one more value over here. So when x is negative 3, that's going to make this a 9, and it's going to make this a negative 6, and 9 and negative 6 adds up to 3. So negative 3 and 3 will be 1, 2, 3, right about here, and that's about what we need to graph it like this. All right. So now, based on that, we know the vertex is going to be at negative 1, negative 1. Our roots is going to be at 0, 0, and then negative 2 and 0. And our y-intercept also is at 0, 0. And there's the first graph. Alright, for the second graph we have f of x equals x minus 2 squared. So I'm going to start off by plugging in a 0 in for x. Now we could multiply this, we could say x minus 2 times x minus 2 and then get that expression and plug in 0. But we can just plug in 0 the way it is. So 0 minus 2 is negative 2, and negative 2 squared is 4. So when x is 0, y is 4. Let's go when x is 2. When x is 2, 2 take away 2 is 0, and 0 squared, of course, is 0. Let's go, how about when x is 4? When x is 4, 4 take away 2 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. Now let's do some negative values. How about negative 2? So when x is negative 2, negative 2 take away 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 squared is 16. And let's go to negative 1. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3, and negative 3 squared is 9. Alright, so now let's plug these values in and see what we got. So we have 0 and 4. That location is right there. We have 2 and 0, which is right here. We have 4 and 4, which is right there. We have negative 2 and 16. Now that's going to be kind of way up here. So let's put a dot kind of where we think it belong. And we have negative 1 and 9. So that one you can tell is going to be right about there. Alright, so far we have a good part of this graph. It looks kind of like this, right? So we need to kind of add one more point over here. So let's go with how about x is 5? So when x is 5, 5 take away 2 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So 5 and 9 is going to be right about there. All right, and of course this graph continues in both directions forever. So let's put arrows there, and there it is. Okay, so our vertex is going to be 2 and 0, and that's going to be a min value. Our x-intercept, this time there's one root, and that's going to be at 2 and 0 also. And then our y-intercept is at location x is 0 and y is 4. So 0 and 4, and there it is. All right, so now that you understand how to graph quadratic functions with input-output tables, why don't you pause the video and try the your turn problems now. And when you're done, hit play. You can see how you did. All right, good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's say you do with these practice problems. So here we have the function f of x equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. And the vertex should have been at 1 and 0. Again, the vertex is right here. And this should have been a minimum value. Our x-intercept, we only have 1. And that's also at 1 and 0. And then our y-intercept was at 0 and 1, which is right there. All right. Now, just a couple things. I gave you only 6 coordinates to plot here, but there's nothing stopping you from plotting other points as well. So if you feel like your graph is maybe a little bit incomplete, you can always add a few more points if you need to. All right, let's take a look at the second graph. And here it is. And here we have the function f of x equals x plus 1 squared. And again, here are the values I used. I used 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, and -3. And when I graphed the points, I got the vertex at -1 and 0, which is right there. The x-intercept, again, only 1 this time, was also at -1 and 0. And then the y-intercept was at 0 and 1. All right, so this video taught you how to graph quadratic functions with input-output tables.